Right, now having shot those two straightforward targets, the incoming bird and then the retreating outgoing bird, we've moved on and we're going to just shoot a very basic crossing target. Perhaps mainly for shooters coming into the game, or those of us that have shot for a bit longer. The crossing target seems to always present a little bit of well, not a problem, but you get a bit daunted by it, and don't. It's just as simple to shoot as any of the others that we've done. Very quickly though, before we move into the shooting the target, I just want to mention, during the whole course of this lesson episode, you're going to hear me repeat certain things as we go along. I refer back to my training when I was in the British military. When I was on my NCO's course, my corporal course particularly, and they were teaching me to teach, and already it's set in, because the military used to say to me, the way you instruct, you tell, if you like, the pupils what you're going to tell them, you tell them the information, and then you tell them what you've just told them. So you tell them what you've just told them, and so the information sinks in. So please don't think I'm getting forgetful as I'm getting a bit older. I'm going to do this because we want to obviously get the information going in constantly. It's, you know, so it becomes subconscious and so on. So remember, please forgive me. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you, and then I'm going to tell you what I've just told you. Right, crossing target. The one we're going to shoot here is, for me, a left to right crossing target. And the reason I've chose that to start with is that as a right-hander, the left-hand target requires a little bit more effort. And of course, if I was a left-hander, the right-hand target would also require more effort. Now that reason is because it requires, if you like, it's on my odd side, my more difficult side, it requires more physical effort. Now obviously, and very quickly I'll show you, of course the gun is empty because I know we fired it, but if you remember from the very basic, the introduction episode, remember as a right-handed shot, obviously I have a 90-degree arc of movement through my left shoulder. So I can go this way, and of course I can then go to my right. Now of course my movement from here to here, believe it or not, is more demanding physically than that. That is far easier for me as a right-handed shot to go that way than it is to go this way. So to a degree, particularly I now refer to shooters that are going to shoot gun up or pre-mounted or high gun, where of course you're having to put that physical effort in. The old saying is, if you're a right-hander and you're going to tackle a left to right crosser, it will need more effort. So in a sense, if your picture of distance in front on a identical target coming from the right is that much, if the target is going to come relative to me from my left, okay, I would add 50% more, which compensates for that increased degree of physical movement. So it's a bit harder for me to go that way than that way. So it's quite common I get asked, I can hit right-handed right side crossers, but I can't shoot the left ones. Well, that's because it's a bit more difficult for your body if you're right-handed to go that way than it is to go that way. And for left-handers, it's the reverse. So that's a very important thing that you want to consider, okay? If you're going to shoot, hopefully gun down, not quite as dramatic for you as a pre-mounted shot, because you've got that lovely movement, your movement of arms compensates, it's much easier. But again, there's still a little bit more effort required when you shoot that target coming from your awkward side, okay? So if I'm right-handed, that's my awkward side. If I'm left-handed, that's my awkward side, and that's to try and remember it. Okay, so we're going to move on and shoot it. One of the principles that we're going to have a look at also when I'm going to shoot this is when you need to find the right pickup point. Pickup point, people say, well, what do I do? Do I go back to the trap? Well, no, that's the worst thing you want to do. Just very quickly, logically remember, the closer you go to the trap, you're going down the flight path of the target, and actually it's at the fastest part of the target's flight path. The moment the target leaves the trap, it's coming out at full speed. Remember, the further the target goes along, obviously it's losing inertia, it's losing power, so technically it's slowing up a little bit. So don't go right back to the trap, remember, because if you get the wrong pickup point, it's going to get the jump on you and you're going to end up chasing the target. But people say, well, how do I find that right place? Well, remember again, it relates to that body movement. Remember we talked about that 45-degree either side of the body of the golf swing. So what I intend to do with this target, and I intend to do with all of the targets we're going to shoot today, is I'm going to mount my gun on the place on the target's flight path where I intend to break it. So what I'm going to do on these shots, I'm going to use a process where I'm going to start by mounting the gun on the place on the flight line where I perceive I'm going to break it. So that's where I'm going to break it. Then what I'm going to do, and if I say to you, look, you're where I'm going to break it, okay, now I'm going to come back down the flight path. Remember, this target is left to right relative to me. That's where I'm going to break it. Now I'm going to come back to there because that's where my body says stop. That's the end of that movement. Now the trap might be another how many yards further on, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to break it. That's where I come back. Your body will naturally tell you where the pickup point is. So use all those things. You know, this is now where you start using all the natural advantages you have and those that are logical. So what I'm going to do, that's where I'm going to break it. That's where I'm going to pick it up. And then of course we use that system as I've talked about, and I'm going to talk about more and more, the 3 Ps, where I'm going to pick the target up, I'm going to point at it, I'm going to pull away and shoot. So that's what we're going to apply to these crossers. Don't be intimidated by them. Don't worry about this distance of, if you like, this dreadful word lead at the moment. Let's just concentrate, pick the target up, point at it, pull away and squeeze the trigger. And we're going to use the process where we're going to mount the gun on the place where we're going to break the target. We're going to then come back to that point where the body says, that's enough, that's the pickup. We're going to pick it up, we're going to point at it, we're going to pull away and squeeze the trigger. I'm going to shoot this as a left-hander, and then we're going to follow on, move to a slightly different location, and we're going to shoot the same, but we're going to shoot a right-handed target. So let's get ready. Let's hope we can do it. It's a beautiful day, great day for breaking clays. Let's crack on. Okay, we're going to shoot this crossing bird. It's a standard target. As you'll see when I do the dry run, the target is coming out from a concealed position behind the trees here to my left, and it's going to cross me. It's slightly climbing, nice angle. So we're going to crack straight on. We're going to do a dry run, and I'm going to do it straight cold. There's been no practice, so I hope I've got the right pickup point. If I've got it wrong, of course, it'll even be better, because then we'll see if we need to adjust it, and we can. So here we go. I'm going to do a dry run, and we'll see about if I've got the pickup point right. Then hopefully we can adjust from there. So here we go. Now I'm going to mount the gun on the place where I perceive I'm going to break it, and I'm going to come back down the flight path. Now my body has just said stop, so hopefully I've got it right. I'm going to lower my barrels a little bit, so I'm now below the flight path. Remember, I want to come up and converge. Let's see if we've got it right. Pull. I come up and bang. Let's just try one more. So now I've decided that's where I'm going to break it. I'm going to be under the flight path. I'm going to come back to my body point where it says enough. I'm now going to pick it up, point at it and pull away. Pull. Pick it up, point at it, pull away. Now hopefully you've got a good view on that, and we're going to give it a try. Let's have a go. Just loading one. It's only a single target. Now, a good solid gun mount onto that point on the flight path where I'm going to break it. I'm going to come back down. My body says stop. I'm a little bit below that flight path, so I can lift the gun up and converge. Let's have a go. Pull. Pull. Quite a nice shot, quite pleased with that. Broke the target in the middle. Gave me a good indication I was fairly square on. We'll do another one just to confirm it. So again, all I'm going to do, remember, mount the gun where I'm going to pick it up. I come back down that flight path. Remember, I'm actually coming a little bit below the flight path, remember, because I want to come up and converge on it. And once I come up on to the underside of that clay, I've made contact, I'm going to pull away. So, 3 Ps, pick it up, point at it, pull away. Nice solid gun mount onto the pickup where I'm going to break it. I come back down the flight path a little bit below. Let's have a go. Pull. Pull. Nice solid break again in the middle. No rush, no trauma. Just get that right pickup point. Remember, I pushed on a little bit because it's on my left hand side. Came onto it, contacts, the secret to success. Just pulled away, saw a picture, squeezed the trigger, kept the gun moving. Let's have a go, gun down. I'm still going to do the same thing. What I'm going to actually do is I'm going to mount, obviously, up to it. Then I'm going to dismount, and then I'm going to come back. Very quickly, remember, gun down. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mount, come back down. I'm going to come back, but remember, my gun must stay in advance of my eye. Don't ever have the gun, please forgive me, okay, make sure it's empty. If I'm shooting gun down, I wouldn't be shooting that target where the gun is in the same place where my eye would be. So if I'm looking at you, the pickup point, my gun would always be in advance, because that's what my pointing finger would want to do. It doesn't do this. It goes, oh yeah, there it goes. Now, if the gun was in my eye, as I mounted the gun would actually be coming up behind my eye. Now, very quickly, one of those things with gun down shooting is, think of it this way. The further away the target is from you, you don't need to have that gun start point too far out, because you've got a long movement to make. Remember, it's a big movement, so you don't need the gun start point too far in advance. What I would do, if it was a smaller window, I'm picking the target up there, but if the window is smaller, my movement is smaller. As if you like, my movement gets smaller, my gun start position would go out. So my eye is here, and if it's a very small window, look, bang. So with this one, basically, it's about midway. I'm going to pick the target up. My gun's going to be about there. It's at this height, elevation of the barrel to converge on the line, like we've said before. And I'm just going to lift that gun, come up onto it and converge. Right, dry run. I'm going to mount the gun onto where I'm going to break it. Then I'm going to dismount. So I've now got the right elevation. I'm going to come back. My eye is there. My gun barrel, I'm going to raise it a little bit so the camera actually can pick it up a bit better. Normally I'll be a bit lower, but I'm going to start from here so you can see it, and let's see how it works. Pull. Bang. Pull. Bang. Still a little bit in front. Well, that's a bit of timing. I'm going to adjust. If I'm going to take the shot, I'm going to make sure I'm going to make contact. 'Cause that's all I'm after, is good contact with that bird. So let's have a go. Pull. Pull. Nice, good, solid break in there. Very pleased with that. Nice flowing shot, no rush. All you need to do, remember, you've got this wonderful advantage of being able to move those arms. You're converging on the target, and as you're coming up on it, of course, your movement is accelerating quite naturally. Like we've said before, just the same as on a golf swing or a tennis stroke. Let's see if we can just do one more.
Okay, wait there.
Pull. Pull. Again, nice flowing shot. It's not too demanding a target. I'm you know, if I suppose what that's 35 yards. It's a little bit further out than the skeet target. Not a lot. Climbing and crossing. If I was going to shoot that a little bit further away, what would I do? Is I would mount the gun, but I would bring the gun down. The further the target is away, remember, the bigger the movement is I want to make contact. But hey, crossers, that's a club crosser, straightforward. 3 Ps, never let you down. Pick it up, point at it, pull away. As we've said, standard gun. This is just the normal, it's an old Browning, lovely old gun I use in the shooting school. This tape is on here because I mark it when I'm getting gun fit. And for both of you, or for all of you out there, all I'm using is a modified and improved cylinder. I've got a 7.5 shot. What's this one? Yeah, it's just an ounce load, a little bit heavier than what I'd normally use. I use a 24 gram, but there you go, 7.5. We have done nothing special. Nothing special. This is about basic good old shooting. I haven't got a Purdy gun. I haven't got, you know, Patriot red hot shells. Normal, modified and improved. Normal cartridges, normal day, normal shooting. Okay, now let's see if now I've said that. Let's see if I can hit it. So the first one I'm going to do is we're going to do a gun up shot. Now what I'm actually going to do, as we've said before, so I'm going to mount the gun where I envisage breaking that target. I'm now going to come back down that flight path to the pickup point, and I'm going to see what we can do. Pull. Pull. Okay, we'll try that one again. I think I came back a little bit too far to the right, so, but it still worked. Picked it up, pointed at it, pulled away. Okay, one more. So I mount the gun where I'm going to pick it up or break it. I come back now down to the pickup point. Hopefully I've got this one a bit better. Pull. Pull. That was the gun up shot. Hopefully you saw, got the right pickup point, pointed at it, job done, pulled away and shoot. Mounting the gun, if you're a pre-mounted shooter, mounting the gun where you plan to break that target is a big help, because believe it or not, that will give you the natural point where you can stop. I mounted it there, I came back there, my muscles here said no more, don't go back anymore. So that gives me the right pickup point, so I can pick it up and move with it. Okay, now we're going to break that with a low gun shot. Now this time, I know where I'm going to break it. I come back, can you see that? I came back to that same point. Now that's where my eye is. Now my elevation of the barrel is enough to give me that convergent angle onto the target. And of course my eye's here, my barrel, like my finger, would be just to the left of my eye. So let's have a go. Pull. Pull. And of course, the gun came into my face and my shoulder as I made contact. All that was left for me to do was squeeze the trigger. There was a natural, just like a flowing movement. The key is, of course, you must never ever allow the gun to stop. We'll do that one more. Okay, I know where I'm going to break it. Now I'm going to come back. So my eye is here, but again, notice my barrel is already now going in the direction the target is going to go. My gun is slightly forward, allowing my arms freedom of movement. Okay, pull. Pull.